This is the official document for group assignment 1. Again, this is the foundation for the next assignment, which means the next assignment you are going to learn, or maybe you already learned, so you are just going to relearn some of these skills, right? But, when you do the web design, make sure, you understand, that, all of the critique things you will be doing this week will be helping you to design better website, right? So let's say, what is important, what's important, right? So, and then remember, you'll be trying to critique, 2 different websites, okay? And it's going to be from the same industry. And the reason I chose, service business, is that, let's say, usually for service business, you are going to treat consumers directly, right? For B2B business, probably you do not have many opportunities to interact with consumers. For B2C business, you have so many opportunities to interact with consumers directly, right? So they might come to a web page of your page regularly, right? So that's why it's so important. And also, you will find such a, big differences between maybe the top performing ones and the, and the worst, maybe, less, less optimized websites, okay? So the objective is to make sure, I understand there are different aspects of web design, and also they have different purposes. Make sure you read chapter 8, and also there are 2 additional articles at least in the reference section. You see 2 articles here, and both of these articles are written for digital marketers, okay? And some of these are one of these articles could be just a little bit more technical, but you see we focus on SEO, user experience, and also audience research, right? So that being said, what do you need to submit? So, remember, I think, this is like online class, and I want to make sure we have a reasonable workload. And also I want to make sure, let's say whatever stuff you are doing, you focus on learning instead of assessment. Because when students focus on assessment, they forget the joy, learning. So that being said, I want to make sure you do enough work and it's doable, and also workload is reasonable. So that being said, again, for the, from my side, you see here, I'm not trying to ask you to write essays, okay? So do not try to write essays. Make sure you do PPT report, okay? PPT report should include the slides and supporting notes. I'm just going to show you maybe for like a few seconds, a few minutes, and then you guys make a decision. If you're a customer, how do you like, this kind of design, right? How do you like this kind of design? Why it's good, bad, or probably okay? And I'm going to ask you probably just one question, okay? So see this web page, when you open it, now you can do some assessment, right? The pop-up page, which asks, let's say, your email, your birthday. And again, it can be a little bit intimidating because not everybody wants to give them their birthday, right? And personally, I don't want to give them my birthday, but they are giving me like $10 credit, which is okay. I still don't want to give them my birthday. And but I think it's good practice. They're trying to have pop-up landing page which asks your name, your contact information, right? Again, so positive side, let's say, they're trying to use some technology to engage visitors. It might lead to some conversions. Sometimes, some people are looking for this kind of $10 credit, but not everybody want to give their birthday. And also, for first-time users, it's definitely too much. It's definitely too much. So now, again, you guys can keep exploring. You see here all of the social media icons. So it seems really clear all of these channels. And also, it's interactive. You use JavaScript technology to make, these pictures a little more interactive. And then, let's say, I think, let's say they also have a chatbot, which is so innovative. And I think, if I remember correctly, this could be one of the only companies who use chatbot on their homepage. And also they have pros and cons. And then, you can also explore further. And you see here, they have different locations, right? Oh my goodness, they have 4 locations here in Bakersfield. That's surprising. I thought they only have 1. So here they have 4 different solutions. Oh, no, locations. Lastly, you see, this company actually outsource. They outsource their marketing and let's say design to a third-party agency, Studio Third, right? So it's designed by Studio Third. And you know, so that being said, maybe in term design, maybe I could be wrong. This company is definitely above the average. It could be. And now let's look at one more. Now again, you can view page source. You do the same thing. And let's just have a very short review. And you see here, you search Meta, right? Meta. And when you search Meta, some students, you know, get confused because it seems that there are so many meta descriptions. It could be. We had a complex example a few weeks ago. But remember, the standard meta descriptions here, right? Meta name, description, content here. It's here. So if you want to, you know, take note of this meta descriptions here, okay? And I think, you know, maybe, you know, you are thinking about, let's say, title tag, maybe, you know, search title or tag, right? And I think, you know, let's say maybe there's, I don't know why it's still showing me TI. Okay. I think if you search title with an arrow, you can actually find the title tag. Yeah, it's here. Welcome to Euphoria Bakersfield, right? It's very close to the top. And then, you know, hyphen, relax, refine, rejuvenate. This is a standard title tag, okay? It's kind of slow, so my page is freezing. Again, we already examined this website. Now, we come to a different one. This is named Green Massage, and basically, and now let me show you the difference. You can kind of visit this homepage. You see there are only two different links. Come now, get directions. Okay. And then, you know, let's say there are some Yelp reviews, which is nice. And then if you scroll down to the end, you see it's powered by Google. So that being said, you know, this is a Google website. If you click here, you know, you can understand how it works. And you understand this is not designed by professional marketers, right? But, you know, the good side, the pros of doing this is that, you know, it can be affordable, right? So sometimes, you know, probably focus on, you know, those technical aspects. You see, it's fancy, it's so user-friendly. My problem is, you know, it's not for free, right? It takes maybe hundreds of dollars. It could be like even thousands of dollars per year, hundreds of dollars per month. But you see this one, it could be for free, right? Imagine if you're a small business owner, you can design such a website for free, right? You know, with Yelp reviews and everything. But, you know, again, it's not highly interactive. It has very limited functionalities, right? And then you can definitely use those 8 or 9 components or domains or probably criteria to examine what's going on. So I'm not going to show you everything, but, you know, if you click view page source, you're going to find, you know, let's say on this page, there's actually no meta description. Yeah, there's no meta description, right? Looks like there's no meta description because, you know, this is not like a standard web page. This is not even a standard web page. Yeah, so that being said, you know, at least for me, I think, you know, it's kind of hard for me to find web meta description. There's a meta name here, referrer. And then I think, you know, but you guys can do some search, you know, at least for me, I couldn't find any meta description. So if it's a third-party agency, you know, like Wix or WordPress, I mean, content management system, it's very easy to find, you know, meta description and the title tags, okay? So for this one, looks like there's no meta description. So let's see. So I think I already finished introducing, I mean, assignment 1. So there are 2 additional articles which are listed here. And so you see target audience research and also, let's say, you know, content analysis, okay? And then, you know, you are going to examine maybe some good practice, okay? So, you know, again, so many times if you read the book, you see here, it helps you really build a foundation digital marketing. So that being said, many chapters are pretty much conceptual. You know, it does cover a little bit analytics or probably applications, okay? So again, so first one, you know, let's say learning objectives, let's say here, we can talk about, any analytics, web analytics you are familiar with. For example, let's say load speed and or probably, other aspects we have covered. And then, let's say any kinds of KPIs for web analytics, right? So I think there are many tools, and we already covered some of them last few weeks. And you can also probably try to find some other tools from the textbook, whichever other places. Okay. So next one. So I think there's Google Analytics, but I think this is going to be, a different topic we may want to examine in a future week. Okay. So next one. So let's say you will also recognize that you can definitely connect web analytics with your business websites, and then you can do some additional interpretations. Okay. So basically, what is a website? Why do we build websites? So websites, again, like traditional billboards are probably, let's say, yellow pages. So, but nowadays, businesses are more likely to use websites because it's more affordable, and also you can reach to like tens of thousands of consumers if you have correct channel. Billboards and yellow books, it's very limited sometimes. So now think about all of the frameworks which have introduced at the beginning, and also think about let's say owned media and why it's important, because you have 100% control over whatever you want to do. I will also talk about some examples. Now let's think about it. Every time let's say you interact with a website, you actually leave some key information, right? Key information. And then Google or probably these business websites, they can actually understand how much time you spend there, you spend on their website, and then how likely you are going to convert. You see, now we can even talk about ultimate goals. Yeah, which page did you visit, right? Which page did you visit? How likely you are going to come back again in the future? Now, how many times did you visit my page every week? So now think about these log files. Let's say, which kind of insights you can create using automatic tools. For example, Google Analytics, right? Or Google AdWords. So you can do some reporting. Now think about the next one. So we have descriptive analytics. So let's say, what's happening, right? You can use bar charts, histograms, or line charts. And diagnostic means, why it's happening. Predictive means, let's say, what's next? What's next? Prescriptive means, if it happens next, what else, right? What can we do about it? So that being said, the marketing technology and different tools. Think about Google Analytics, Adobe, and also this is not inclusive. Think about the most SEO. Think about, SEMrush. Think about HubSpot. Think about Hootsuite. So many different tools. And there are also programming tools, which will make even your, make this in digital marketing world more complex. But, I think that's why there are so many jobs, right? There are so many jobs. So now let me just show you one example. Yeah, I always try to switch the gear so you guys understand, let's say all of the things we do in this class has a real world application. And probably, every skill you are learning will help you become qualified for some of these industrial positions. For example, this is a topic we covered last few weeks. It's very specific. We talk about search engine, right? So if you think about search engine marketing, you see here 12,000 jobs, 12,000 jobs, or close to 13,000 jobs. Now let's become more specific. Let's say we are just going to use mouse. It's more specific, and you understand this word will not be used by non-digital marketing companies or non-digital marketing position announcements. Let's do a search. 27 jobs. The reason that, it's very specific. And actually, all of these jobs are from mouse itself. Oh, yeah. So that being said, this time it seems that, it's just so specific. Again, so you can use something like SEMrush. I think probably SEMrush 19 jobs. And then maybe think about HubSpot. Oh, no, HubSpot, yeah. 7,000 jobs. HubSpot is like also a platform that offers, let's say, I think this is a certificate we are going to cover, hopefully this coming week, 1,100 jobs, Hootsuite, okay? So this is not inclusive, but hopefully it gives you a view, let's say, what you want to put on your resume, right? And also, how do you learn some of these skills and which skills going to be more important, right? More important. So next one. So you see website analytics as, basically the first steps usually, let's say how to do tracking, right? How to do tracking. Some of these functionalities may not be as active as we used to be. And so for example, cookies. Nowadays, I think Google actually disabled its cookie policy. I think, its cookie policy will expire maybe end of this year, maybe already expired. So that being said again, so the newest generation policy, digital marketing policy or technology will not be using cookies to track user behavior. Okay, so that's something you may want to know. And so that being said, that's why I think it's not easy to actually, let's say, keep update with what's going on in the industry. But I try to talk about these issues. You get to see, build some awareness, right? You're doing digital marketing, learning digital marketing, not like one-time deal. Next one, Google Tag Manager. So it helps you actually, have tracking tags available on your websites, on your search page, right? Next one, events. So basically, every interaction is an event. So this is not like generic English term. And then, and then every interaction is the event. Every event can be used to predict how customers will convert or how customers will, come back again. Okay, how likely are they to come back again? Trigger templates. Now think about, let's say how we actually implement these strategies. So we can use trigger templates to actually simplify our workflow. And then next one, I think, we talk about some generic tools. For example, let's say sessions, user level data, and then also hit level data. So basically like a page view. And then sessions means, let's say you come to a website, how much time did you spend on the website, right? And then also how many visits, how many web pages did you visit? And then user level, right? User level, basically more detailed data, and also more nuanced. And also it's more challenging to analyze, So see, next one. I think for some of these dimensions, we are going to have some, practical exercise. For example, you are going to design a landing web page, and you are also going to design a landing page. A landing page design will be a separate topic we will examine in the future week. So that being said, all of the topics you are doing is going to be more practical. I think, by doing that, by the end of the semester, you're going to see how you can actually, let's say, build more traffic to a website you are going to here. Okay, so I think definitely site speed, load speed, and also some traditional marketing topics. Traditional marketing, strategies. Okay, so now funnel channels, Google campaigns, and also different sources, and also different kinds of engagement. And then basic metrics. So all of the metrics, the majority metrics we examine this module are focused on consumer behaviors. I mean the real behavior, like how much time, how many web pages, and also let's say bounce rate, right? Bounce rate means, let proper product come to a website and then they leave, within a few minutes, and then that's counted as, a part, when you calculate bounce rate. Okay, so I think here probably you mentioned bounce rate. Oh no, so but I think it should be an important topic. So page views, sessions, users, let's say and then, let's say events or revenues, let's say how much revenue you get from each channel, and then cost, how much money did you spend on each channel. A channel means, let's say it could be Yelp, which is a third-party website. It could be like a search engine itself. It could be the website itself. It could be the Google ads. It could be the Microsoft Bing ads. It could be like a Google display ads, right? Again, in the future week, we will talk about all of the applications and also practice, okay? Now think about, Google Analytics. I'm just going to give you a generic introduction because for this module, I usually let you guys use Google Analytics to examine either your client's websites or probably the Google Analytics, websites itself, okay? So Google Analytics actually has its own websites, and they actually sell, let's say, coffee mugs, probably T-shirts, and you can actually learn how to use Google Analytics on their website. So we're going to introduce this specific topic in a detailed manner in a future week, okay? So now you think about, understanding these topics, probably the concepts at a beginner level, and then we can dive deeper in a future week. So behavior dimensions, let's say, how to measure different kinds of behaviors, right? And also how to find opportunities for conversions, or probably website, improvements. Now think about, pages and landing pages are different kinds of metrics. So let's say it can be just so complex. That's why, we may want to use dashboard. And the good news is that Google Analytics itself is actually a dashboard. You don't need to build a brand new dashboard unless you want to, incorporate more complex, analysis. Otherwise, Google Analytics itself is just so powerful. It's an important dashboard. And now since we are talking about Google Analytics, you see, you'll be surprised, how many companies actually look for students who actually have skills or knowledge in Google Analytics, right? So now you see 200 jobs, which is not a lot. Imagine if you think about the different keywords you can use for this skill. Let's say Google Tag Manager. Oh, sorry, should be Google Tag Manager. So I'm going to search just Google Tag. This time it's going to show me Google Jobs. That's not what I want to do. So maybe Google Tags or probably, and maybe just let's use Google Ads. Yeah, if you search Google Ads, you see 4,000 jobs. Yeah, Google Analytics is still important. Maybe, most business still think, Google Analytics is so generic. Google AdWords technique or probably skill is more, more unique, right? More unique. So in the future week, you guys be learning how to run Google Ads hopefully for the real world business. Okay. So acquisition, finally, this is very challenging because sometimes, you assume you are doing a good job. And even if you have data, it's just so hard to measure your acquisitions reasons. So what do you guys think? What's so hard to measure acquisitions?
Well, because it's not always like a direct line, maybe because it doesn't always go like from A to B.
Yeah, Genevieve. Yeah, thank you for your reflections. I think this is a professional digital marketing term. That's correct. We talk about different attribution models. So now again, so you can Google search attribution model. Attribution model means, let's say you could have a consumer who come to your website, and then, they also visit your social media websites. Let's say Yelp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, probably any of them, some of them, all of them. And then, finally, they made a purchase at Amazon. Now, which media channel is more important? And that answer could be very subjective. Now imagine that they probably also visit your search engine result page. They probably also saw your Google ads. Now, when you count, more than 5 or 6 different channels, and then you are going to calculate acquisitions, I'm sure you are going to be confused. And also, your boss may be confused because, you have more than 5 or 6 different channels. and you are going to tell a whole, probably a perfect, story based on imperfect data or imperfect conversions, which is nearly impossible. So now, but we can still make sure we do a little bit better. So it's not a black box, right? It's not a black box. This is way much better than, yellow books or probably billboards you have been using or traditional companies have been using. You see, I guarantee if you travel here to New York City, I don't think you are going to see any advertising campaigns launched by Amazon or even Tesla. I mean, billboards, nearly no. The answer is nearly zero. So Amazon never does, billboards campaigns. Although, Amazon has so much cash, so much money, they never do billboards campaigns. Why? It's not highly effective. And also many times, there's no way for you to measure effectiveness acquisitions. So that being said, all of the conversions also, all of the acquisition strategies for Amazon are digitalized strategies. So that being said, again, acquisition can be complex. And many times, even if you manage small business, think about, how you can do it linearly. Maybe, think about, let's say visit 5 different channels, 5. Now you can divide this conversion by 5. So give 20% to each channel. You give 20% to each channel. Let's say first channel, they visit Google Ads, 20%. Second one, website, 20%. Third one, Twitter, 20%. Facebook, next one, 20%. Last one, probably the websites they use for, purchase, 20%. So usually linear attribution model is more popular because, it's like, like inclusion, diversity, right? It gives everybody opportunity, right? Now imagine, so if you give the first channel 100% attribution, then your result will be biased, right? Because, again, that's this kind of conversion model still exists. If you visit Google's own webpage, it has some justification that, when you need to use first attribution model, right? First attribution model. Again, this is a very interesting topic because, there's no standard answer. So that's why, here, I mean, let's say, if you are in a digital marketing world and every time, come to a class, you try to find a standard answer, I think, you may want to do more research and you will find, let's say, many of the questions we are examining probably do not have a standard answer. Okay, next one. Acquisition dimensions, and you see here, we talk about channel groups, campaigns. We need to talk about all of them, right? All of them. And then think about dashboards. And remember, all of these dashboards are real-time dashboards. And you can find, let's say what's going on. And also you can find conversions, where they're from, and also why they're useful. Next one, dimensions, acquisition dimensions, and also different segments. When you examine your acquisition dimensions, you also examine your segments or audience segments. So audience means, they may not be able to convert, but you understand they are still important. They might convert in the future. So that's why, we do not use customer segments. You see the wording. We do not use customer segments, customer dimensions. Instead, we use audience, dimensions, audience segments, right? Audience dimensions, audience segments, because, we assume, the majority of them are not converting, but, for some reason, you still want them to convert in the future. That's why, you don't want to use customer segments. So in digital marketing world, you see, we have so many interesting stories and so many interesting concepts. I really want you guys to, think about, why we use audience instead of customer, right? So now you see audience dimensions and, again, so think about gender, demographics, every kinds of, segmentation variable you want to use. So next one, customer dimensions. And you can also always customize, any of these, metrics. Okay. And next one, technology dimensions. And also any technology data that can be used to pair with, customer data or demographic data. Okay. Like, for example, which kind of operation system they use, like Android or iOS or Android. I think about, site speed, very important. We already examined a few weeks ago. So this is not something new. KPIs, we already examined KPIs, and it's not something new. Also, active users, right? Active users, conversions, cost per conversion. These are important topics. We will come back again. We will revisit in the future. So next one, Google Analytics. Okay, Google Analytics. So which is available, from Google, it's for free. So lastly, you see here, let's say, again, so think about, let's say the steps, right? First, you have business question, right? Let's say you want to build a website. Now you can do competitor analysis using some of the frameworks we introduced, right? You're already doing some competitor analysis using website critique exercise, right? So traditionally, I mean, when I say competitor analysis, my students think about SWOT analysis. Now you see it's more specific, right? And then third step, or the second step here, you actually collect data. And then, either qualitative data, quantitative data. Third, last step, number three, sorry. Number three, analyze, and then finally optimize. Okay, optimize means, you have to do it again and again and take actions. When you take actions, it's like doing experiments. When doing experiments, you want to revisit your hypothesis, your assumptions, and then see if you are making some progress, right?